Hi guys, right, today I'm going to be talking about these cosplay gloves that I made. Now, at the minute actually this is only one, because I'm going to be showing you how I made by making the other one, because these gloves work for both hands, they're exactly the same, and talk about what I've learned doing it and things that I haven't learned. And to start with, all I had to do, and you can do the same, is get a bit of paper and trace around your hand with a pencil till you get a template. Now, I was assuming you can see it says Temp 1 on this. Yeah, hang on, that way up for you. Now, as you can see, it says Temp 1 on this because this is what I want to talk about. Things I noticed after doing this and that. So, first thing I had a go at, was using this material. Now, this is not stretchy. That is the main thing, and I'll have a go at putting this on. But as you can see, I had to actually undo it to even try and get my hand in it because there was just no way, and it's just uncomfy. It is not a good design at all. So that was my first attempt. This was attempt 2. I got some stretchy fabric, which I have here. It is actually a Halloween costume. But anyway, now as you can see here, if I zoom in, it started fraying quite badly around the thing, and it wasn't actually as long as I wanted it. I wanted it like to my watch area doing it. So this is what I came up with next. I took the original template and I added some length to different bits. I did some length to here, and I added an extra centimetre to all this. I'll explain for that in a minute, because what I thought was to stop with the fraying. This is why there's a centimetre gap there. That was just the extra length I wanted, plus the centimetre had there, is so shown with this one that I did have, that I folded over. If I undo that a bit, you can see that I folded over the edges before I sewed them on to stop the fraying. Now at the minute I can see like there's still little bits that need fixing on this glove and things that need doing, but when I wear this one it gives me the length that I want. Now it does get tucked, the fingers do get a little bit tucked, and there is little bits here that I need to sew up better, but it gives me the length I want to my watch, and it's just very comfy, like incredibly comfy. I didn't expect them to be quite as comfy as I had. So I will be showing you how I made this. So to do this, you first want to get the template. Now all the template is your hand spread as far as wide as you can, drawn round and left with an extension. Now where I wanted this finger length to go can completely depend on how long you want it to be and how long you want it down the wrist. If you wanted it really far down your wrist, you could have the bit of paper going all the way to here, but the length of the gloves I wanted gave me this design. So obviously, like I said, the 1 centimeters at the edge was just to help do it, and also doing it this way gives you a custom fit glove, whereas if you was to buy a glove you would just be getting a size that you want. Anyway, so then I got the material. You get the material. Now like I said, this is stretchy fabric. It's fairly clear. So what I had done, oh wrong side, what I've done is I've drawn the template on twice, one for each side, It's just so that I've obviously there. And the next stage is cutting it out. When you have cut it out, then, because I'm doing in 1 centimeter borders, I'm going to measure, folding back 1 centimeter and pin it ready for the sewing machine. Now I have pinned them all. Now I'm going to sew them. Now you don't have to sew them with a sewing machine. I just personally find it easier and whatever. Now I'm not going to show you how to set up a sewing machine. I hope you know how to do that yourself, and if you don't, just ask somebody who does. So my first tip is put the needle as far to one side as whichever you can. Now I can, if you can see this, I can bring the needle that far that way or that far that way, so I have it right across. And on the thing here, I'll use a needle just to point on these things, is where it obviously moves the fabric, so you want it on at least one of those when you're doing this, but try and avoid having too much in this center, because it will suck it down and then it will just get stuck, and that is no use at all. I have found when doing this to actually start with the needle on it. I'll show you now. Right, as I was saying, what I've tried to do is I've started with the needle above the fabric, not before it, and starting so it's just slightly past the hole gap so it doesn't get sucked in. Now I'm going to try and show you this as clear as I can while doing it. Just a moment. Right, I've zoomed in the best I can. Unfortunately my camera is not made for looking at very small things, so all I'd simply do is run across. I move out the needle as I'm doing it, carry it on and let it run all the way through, and then I can simply lift the foot and pull it out. As I'll try and show on here, that has now just done a nice stitch there holding it back, so the edge piece here is the piece you will see when you are wearing the glove, and it will stop the fraying. When you've done that, you should end up with something like this. Now as you can see, there's the 1 centimeter gaps all the way around, and sorry about the camera and focusing. And when you've done that, simply focus, there we are, just do one for the other hand. Make sure they are opposites with the edges. Don't do something that side with the flaps facing this side, because then when you join them together they won't match. If you're doing a pair of gloves, obviously you want 2 of each so it doesn't matter, but just make sure to keep that in mind so you don't make a mistake. Now the next step is to actually just attach them together and sew them together. Now I have pinned them together so that the outside folded bit is facing outwards, because then when you sew it all together you just flip it inside out and then you get a nice edge without it noticeable. Mine aren't perfectly lined up. It doesn't matter too much because of the fact when you're sewing them together, as long as you pin them right together, you will make a seam that's perfectly together, so it doesn't make much of a difference. You don't need to sew obviously this bit, or where your fingers go basically, because obviously that's where things. So just don't make any mistake. So anywhere you've folded over, you don't sew. Well, you like sew up to here, and these will be the trickiest bits. And I'll show you when it's all sewn together. Right, now that you've sewn them together, it should look like this, with your excess piece on the edge on each side. So you do have to, if you haven't got them quite perfect, make them fit. And if you're careful, I have already done this with this glove just to make it easier, put it on, so you'll have to turn it inside out. Well, that's inside out, that is what the other one will then look like, and then just show any little excess bits you can't see from this side. This is why this bit is tucked slightly, because I sewed it from the outside, not the... And there we are. They are done. So, these are the cosplay gloves I've made, and yeah, I am very happy because these are the first gloves I've ever made, and considering how cheap and easy they were to do, like I said, the material was a Halloween costume which I got from a charity shop for very little money, and yeah, I'm very happy. I am going to be wearing these in a costume that I'm doing tomorrow, so I did leave it a bit late for making them, but yeah, I am very happy. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And I'm probably going to do more of these in the future. So, we will see you another time. And also, if you really do like it, hit that subscribe button down there. Bye.